Ladies and gentlemen, there is an ancient principle that many ignore, yet it holds the key to transformation. The moment you shift your focus inward, the moment you silence the distractions around you, the world begins to align in your favor. It is not magic. It is the law of clarity, the law of discipline, the law of purpose. We live in a noisy world. Everybody has something to say about what you should do, where you should go, and how you should live. But let me ask you, when was the last time you listened to yourself? When was the last time you sat in silence, not seeking validation, not explaining yourself, not defending your dreams, but simply building? The greatest breakthroughs happen in silence. The strongest foundations are laid in solitude. Consider the seed. It does not shout as it grows. It does not announce its roots pushing through the soil. It does not seek approval before it breaks into the sunlight. No, it simply does what it was created to do, grow. And in the right time, it stands tall as a mighty tree, unshaken by opinions, unstoppable in purpose. That is the power of focused self-mastery. Many people waste energy trying to prove themselves. They explain their plans, justify their decisions, and debate their worth. But true strength needs no announcement. The eagle does not explain why it soars. The lion does not apologize for its roar. When you focus on yourself, on developing your skills, on refining your mind, on sharpening your vision, everything around you begins to shift. Opportunities you once chased will start chasing you. The doors that seem locked will open effortlessly. The people who overlooked you will wonder where you came from. But none of that will matter, because by then you will have built something greater than recognition. You will have built character, wisdom, and the power to move in silence. Silence is not weakness, it is strategy. The most dangerous warrior is the one who prepares in secret. The most successful individual is the one who builds without distraction. And the most fulfilled person is the one who learns to walk in purpose without seeking. Do not waste energy announcing every step. Do not spend your time explaining your journey. Work, grow, build. And when the time is right, the result will speak louder than words. Because when you focus on yourself and stay silent, everything falls into place. Thank you. Silence is a growth strategy. True transformation happens when you focus inward and eliminate distractions. Just like a seed grows underground before breaking into the sunlight, success is built in silence. Stop seeking validation. Many waste energy explaining their plans and justifying their actions. Instead of proving yourself to others, invest that time in developing your skills and character. True strength needs no announcement. The eagle soars without explaining, and the lion does not justify its roar. Similarly, those who focus on self-mastery do not need external validation. Results will speak for themselves. Opportunities chase those who are prepared. When you focus on your growth, doors that once seemed locked will open effortlessly, and the right people and opportunities will find you. Move with purpose, not noise. The most successful individuals prepare in secret and execute with precision. They understand that silence is not weakness, but a strategic advantage. Let results speak louder than words. Instead of announcing every step, let your success be the evidence of your hard work. When you focus on yourself and stay silent, everything naturally falls into place. In a world filled with constant noise, distractions, and opinions, the most powerful transformations often take place in silence. Growth is not an instant event, it is a gradual process. Much like the journey of a seed buried in the soil, no one sees the seed breaking open beneath the earth. No one hears the roots pushing downward before the first sprout appears. But in that silent, unseen place, something powerful is happening. It is growing, strengthening, and preparing for its time to rise. Many people fail to understand this principle and instead look for immediate recognition. They announce every plan, share every goal, and seek approval before they have even begun the work. But those who truly succeed in life understand that silence is not weakness. It is a strategy. They do not waste time proving themselves to others. They do not rush to display unfinished work. Instead, they invest in themselves behind the scenes, sharpening their minds, refining their skills, and preparing for opportunities that others cannot yet see. Greatness is built in the unseen moments when no one is watching, when there is no applause, when there is no validation. This is where character is formed, where discipline is tested, and where real transformation begins. Those who rise to the top are not those who shout the loudest, but those who have spent time mastering their craft in silence. The most successful athletes, entrepreneurs, and leaders do not announce their training every day. They focus, they work, and they emerge when the time is right. Nature itself teaches us this lesson. The strongest trees grow deep roots before they ever stretch toward the sky. The most majestic rivers carve through rock slowly and silently before they become mighty forces of nature. And just like these natural wonders, personal growth requires patience, endurance, and a willingness to work without immediate recognition. When you embrace the power of silent growth, you free yourself from the opinions of others. You stop being distracted by unnecessary noise and instead channel your energy into productive action. This is the key to true transformation. Those who master this principle do not fear being overlooked because they know that in time their results will speak for themselves. The greatest achievements in history did not begin with noise. They began with focus. Whether it was an inventor working late at night, an artist perfecting their craft, or a leader preparing for their moment, the real work happened behind the scenes. And when the time came, their success was undeniable, not because they had announced it, but because they had built something so strong that the world could not ignore it. One of the biggest traps people fall into is the need for validation. They seek approval from family, friends, colleagues, and even strangers before they take action on their dreams. They want reassurance that they are making the right choice, that their path is acceptable, and that others will support them. But here's the truth. If you spend your life trying to convince others of your worth, you will never have time to build it. People waste valuable energy explaining themselves. They justify their ambitions, defend their decisions, and wait for permission to pursue their goals. But true success does not come from explaining, it comes from doing. The most accomplished individuals in history did not waste time trying to convince people of their vision. They simply executed it. They focused on their craft, perfected their skills, and allowed their results to speak louder than any words ever could. The need for validation is often rooted in fear, the fear of rejection, the fear of criticism, the fear of failure. But the reality is that no matter what you do, there will always be people who doubt you. Some will question your dreams because they cannot see what you see. Others will criticize you because they are afraid to take risks themselves. And some will simply never believe in you until you succeed. If you spend your life trying to win the approval of these people, you will remain stuck, never reaching your full potential. Instead of seeking validation, focus on mastery. Let your energy go into refining your craft, deepening your knowledge, and strengthening your discipline. When you become truly great at what you do, validation becomes irrelevant. You will no longer need to explain yourself because your success will be undeniable. The world does not need you to announce your greatness. It needs you to demonstrate it. History has proven this principle over and over again. The greatest athletes do not argue about their abilities. They win championships. The best musicians do not seek approval. They create timeless art. The most successful entrepreneurs do not explain their ideas. They build empires. Their work speaks for them, and as a result, they do not waste time seeking validation. They demand respect through their achievements. When you free yourself from the need for validation, you gain an incredible advantage. You move differently, you think differently, you operate with a confidence that does not come from external approval, but from inner conviction. And that is the kind of confidence that creates true and lasting success. True strength is never loud. It does not need to announce itself, prove itself, or explain itself. It simply exists, undeniable and unshaken. In a world where people constantly seek attention, where they boast about their achievements, and where they try to convince others of their worth, the most powerful individuals are those who let their actions speak for them. Look at nature. The eagle does not ask permission to soar. It does not waste time explaining why it flies higher than other birds. It simply spreads its wings and rises. The lion does not apologize for its roar or seek approval for its strength. It walks with confidence, knowing exactly who it is. In the same way, those who are truly great do not seek validation. They simply operate in their power. Many people believe that they need to announce their plans and prove their worth to be taken seriously. They think that if they do not constantly remind others of their goals, they will be forgotten. But real power is silent. The most dangerous warrior does not reveal his strategy before battle. The most successful entrepreneur does not waste time explaining their vision to doubters. The most brilliant minds do not argue with those who cannot see their potential. Instead, they focus on execution, on results, on impact. The truth is that when you are truly great, people will notice without you having to say a word. They will see your discipline, your consistency, and your results. They will recognize your work ethic and the quality of what you produce. And the best part, by the time they realize your power, it will be too late to stop you. This principle is what separates leaders from followers. Followers seek approval. They explain themselves. They crave recognition, but leaders move with purpose. They understand that their time and energy are too valuable to be wasted on convincing others of their worth. They let their achievements do the talking. This mindset applies to every area of life, whether in business, sports, art, or personal development. Those who succeed at the highest level do not waste energy on unnecessary noise. They do not argue, they do not seek applause, and they do not let criticism slow them down. They move with quiet confidence, knowing that their results will speak louder than any words ever could. When you reach this level of focus, you become unstoppable. People may doubt you, underestimate you, or ignore you at first, but in time they will have no choice but to acknowledge your greatness. Because true strength does not need to announce itself. It simply is. When you focus on yourself, develop your skills, and stay disciplined, something remarkable happens. Opportunities begin to chase you. The doors that once seemed locked will start to open, and the right people will come into your life at the right time. This is not luck. It is the result of preparation meeting opportunity. They knock on doors that are not meant for them, beg for attention, and hope for a breakthrough. But the truth is, real success does not come from chasing, it comes from attracting. And attraction happens when you have something valuable to offer. Think about it. A company does not hire an employee just because they need a job. They hire them because they have developed the skills that make them indispensable. A coach does not select a player because they want to be on the team. They choose them because their performance demands attention. The best musicians, entrepreneurs, and leaders do not beg for opportunities. Opportunities find them because they have mastered their craft. This is why focusing on yourself is the most powerful thing you can do. Instead of wasting energy trying to convince people to believe in you, Spend that energy becoming someone worth believing. Instead of trying to prove your worth, increase your value. Instead of chasing after success, become the kind of person that success cannot ignore. The problem is that most people want results without preparation. They want the rewards without the work. But life does not work that way. The farmer does not harvest crops he never planted. The athlete does not win a championship without training. The artist does not create a masterpiece without years of practice. If you want success, you must first become worthy of it. This is why those who are truly successful operate differently. They do not rush. They do not force things. They understand that when they build themselves up, when they grow in silence, and when they remain committed to excellence, opportunities will naturally flow to them. They understand that the world makes room for those who have something valuable to offer. When you focus on becoming better every day, life will reward you. You will no longer have to knock on doors. They will open on their own. You will no longer have to chase after people. They will seek you out. Because when you are prepared, when you are excellent, and when you are undeniable, opportunities will not just come to you, they will chase you. When you move with purpose, you shift from merely existing to truly living. Purpose is the force that propels you forward with direction, clarity, and intention. It is the guiding star that keeps you on track. Even when the world around you seems chaotic and uncertain, moving with purpose means you are focused on what matters most, your goals, your values, and your vision, and you make decisions based on what will bring you closer to fulfilling that purpose. The most successful people do not drift aimlessly through life. They don't let external circumstances dictate their actions. Nor do they fall victim to the distractions that bombard them every day. Instead, they have a clear sense of where they are going, and every move they make is aligned with that vision. This is the power of purposeful action. Think about it. Every great achievement in history was driven by someone with a clear purpose. The great inventors like Thomas Edison and Nikola Tesla didn't just stumble upon their discoveries. They were driven by a deep, unshakable purpose to change the world. Great leaders like Nelson Mandela didn't simply react to events. They were guided by a vision of freedom and equality that pushed them to persevere through the darkest of times. Every athlete who has broken records, every artist who has created timeless works, every entrepreneur who has built an empire, they all moved with purpose. They knew why they were doing what they were doing, and that deep sense of purpose gave them the strength to keep going no matter the obstacles they faced. The difference between those who succeed and those who do not is not necessarily talent or intelligence, but the clarity of their purpose. When you know your purpose, it doesn't matter what challenges come your way, you can face them with confidence, knowing that they are just stepping stones on the path to your destination. It doesn't matter what people say or what setbacks you encounter, because you are anchored in a sense of direction that cannot be easily shaken. This is why moving with purpose is so powerful. When you are clear on where you are going, every action becomes meaningful. Every decision is deliberate. You no longer waste time on distractions or things that don't align with your vision. Instead, you move with intention, and that intention leads you closer to your goals. Purpose also gives you the resilience to keep going when the road gets tough. It is easy to give up when you lack a sense of direction, but when you are driven by a deep personal purpose, quitting becomes unthinkable. Moving with purpose keeps you focused, keeps you motivated, and ensures that every step you take brings you closer to your ultimate success. Results are the most powerful form of communication. They speak louder than any words, louder than any promises, and louder than any claims you can make about yourself. When you focus on what you need to do, put in the necessary work, and trust the process, your results will reveal your true abilities. In a world where many people talk about what they are going to do, it's the people who actually do it that stand out. Many people are caught up in the need to talk about their plans, their goals, and their ambitions. They announce their intentions to the world, hoping for recognition or validation. But the reality is that words alone don't create results. Actions do. The world doesn't need to hear about your intentions. It needs to see what you can achieve. Your results speak for you. They prove your commitment, your discipline, and your ability to turn your vision into reality. Think of all the great figures in history, from scientists to entrepreneurs, from artists to athletes. None of them achieved greatness by simply talking about their plans. They achieved it through their work. Albert Einstein didn't just talk about the theory of relativity. He dedicated years to research and experimentation. Steve Jobs didn't just talk about innovation. He built one of the most successful companies in the world. Serena Williams didn't just talk about winning titles. She spends hours training, refining her skills, and pushing her limits. Their results speak for themselves, and that is what sets them apart. When you focus on delivering results, you don't have to waste time convincing others of your potential. You don't need to explain every decision or justify your every action. People will recognize the value you bring through the impact you create. Whether it's a project at work, a personal goal, or a creative pursuit, your results are the proof of your ability. This is why actions speak louder than words. When you are focused on achieving real results, you won't be distracted by the need for external validation. Instead, you will find fulfillment in the process itself, the satisfaction that comes from knowing you are moving closer to your goals step by step. By consistently delivering results, you establish a reputation built on trust and dependability. People will know that when you say you're going to do something, you will do it. And in a world full of talkers, being someone who can deliver results makes you stand out as someone reliable, capable, and unstoppable. In the end, the true measure of your success is not in what you say, but in what you accomplish. Focus on what you can do and let your results speak for themselves. When you do, everything you've worked for will naturally fall into place. In conclusion, when you focus on yourself and stay silent, you align with a powerful force that drives growth, success, and fulfillment. The journey to greatness is built in silence and self-mastery, where you refine your skills, build your character, and stay focused on your purpose. It's not about seeking validation from others or announcing your plans. True strength lies in moving with quiet confidence, trusting in your process, and letting your results speak for themselves. By focusing inward and sharpening your abilities, you attract the right opportunities. And when you operate with purpose, the world begins to open doors for you. The most successful individuals don't need to explain themselves. Their actions and achievements serve as their testimony. They let their work, not their words, create their legacy. So trust in the power of silence, in the strength of your purpose, and in the undeniable force of focused action. When you embrace this, you will discover that everything in your life starts to align effortlessly. The world will recognize your value, opportunities will seek you out, and success will no longer be something you chase, it will be something that chases you.